Hey everyone, this winter weather pattern is about to get even crazier over the next couple of weeks as we anticipate multiple winter storms, a growing heat wave across the deep south and southeast that's breaking records, and an Arctic blast likely around the middle of February. In today's forecast, we'll break down exactly what you need to know about the weather that will be impacting the United States over the next couple of weeks. We'll begin with what's happening across the country today. For most areas, things are relatively quiet. Over in the Ohio Valley, Southern Plains, and Southeast, we are dealing with a very typical winter weather pattern, dry and overall warm. In fact, it's record-breaking warm in many areas. We've already seen a lot of records shattered due to yesterday's heat, and we expect Thursday to be the biggest record-breaking heat day of the year so far, with over 30 different locations expecting record-breaking high temperatures. We'll talk more about that shortly. Back over on the West Coast, we have atmospheric river events continuing to dump tons of snow and rain across the West Coast, including the higher elevations of California and the Sierra Nevada, where around 100 to 150 inches of snow is forecast. We've already seen a lot of snow and more is expected in the next few days. Tomorrow, we expect an area of energy to develop into a winter weather event and likely a winter storm on Wednesday night and Thursday across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Northeast. This will only be the beginning of the winter storm train forming in the United States. Multiple winter storms coming now. Let's dive into these winter storms coming to the United States, the massive heat wave building in the country, and eventually the Arctic blasts. Starting with the next couple of days as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning, things will remain relatively dry anywhere east of the Rocky Mountains, while snow and rain continue on the West Coast due to a powerful atmospheric river. By Wednesday morning, we begin to see freezing rain and snow in northern Missouri, western Illinois, and Iowa. We are expecting a relatively significant ice event across several states. This is going to be a very problematic winter storm on Wednesday and Thursday. By Wednesday night, we will see a large area of freezing rain from Iowa to northern Illinois and through the Ohio Valley. This will intensify into Wednesday night and early Thursday morning with heavy freezing rain, particularly in northern Indiana and northern Ohio. This could lead to isolated power outages. So if you have friends or family in this area, make sure they're aware of the potential for power outages due to ice accumulation. By Thursday morning, the freezing rain will continue moving into the northeast, while the snow will mostly remain to the north. If you're in the upper Midwest, you can expect a few inches of snow. The more significant snow threat will be in New England, where widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow are forecast for Thursday. This will eventually transition into a mess, with freezing rain following behind in New England and pure rain in southern New England. Snow will mainly remain to the north as we head into Thursday night, and by Friday morning, things should be clearing out. But that's not the only winter storm in the Northeast. We are expecting another one this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, which will closely resemble the current system in terms of location and precipitation types. Freezing rain will likely occur across Iowa, extending into Maryland with snow in the upper Midwest on Saturday afternoon and evening. By Saturday night into Sunday morning, snow will again impact areas in the Great Lakes, upper Midwest, and New England, while freezing rain will lead to ice accumulation in Pennsylvania and southern New York. As we move into the next few days, the winter storm patterns and heat wave across the United States will intensify. This winter storm train will continue with the next major event expected to hit over the weekend. We are looking at significant snow and ice accumulation with the risk for power outages in several areas. Starting with this weekend's storm, we are anticipating conditions very similar to what we've experienced recently. Snow and ice stretching from the upper Midwest through New England, with freezing rain expected to impact parts of Pennsylvania, southern New York, and southern New England. By Sunday morning, the snow will continue to fall across New England before gradually moving out. This system will have a similar intensity and track to previous storms, although there are a few differences that could impact the overall severity. Once the jet stream dips further south and Arctic air starts pouring in from Canada, we may see a large winter storm form over the Central Plains or Ohio Valley around mid-February. The European model currently predicts that the Northeast could see the worst of it, so if you're in that region, be prepared for heavy snow in the coming weeks. By February 15th, which is almost 2 weeks from now, the weather pattern will remain active. The Climate Prediction Center agrees that there's a chance for heavy snowfall across the Central Plains and New England. So it's important to stay informed over the next couple of weeks, as the weather could be quite busy with both snow and the threat of an Arctic blast, ice accumulation, and power outages. The winter storm Wednesday into Thursday will likely bring significant ice accumulation, particularly across Pennsylvania, southern New York, and southern New England. There could be up to a quarter inch of ice. And in some spots, especially in central Pennsylvania, half an inch of ice accumulation is possible. This is likely to cause hazardous conditions on untreated roads and power outages due to ice buildup. While snow accumulation in the upper Midwest won't be as significant during this storm, the second winter storm over the weekend from Saturday to Sunday could bring heavier snowfall to the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and New England. It's still early to get into specific snowfall amounts, but we expect this second storm to be more impactful in terms of snow accumulation, with a forecast of 3 to 6 inches for much of the Northeast on Thursday, and possibly another 4 to 8 inches with the weekend storm. Long-term snowfall outlook. The European models suggest a lot of snow over the next couple of weeks, especially in the Northeast, with a potential for 1 or 2 more snow events. The probability of seeing more than 1 inch of snow is high across the Pacific Northwest, Canada, the Northern Plains, Upper Midwest, and Northeast. However, significant snowfall over 6 inches is more likely in the Northeast, Pacific Northwest, and Sierra Nevada, while other areas, including the Gulf Coast, are unlikely to see a repeat of the heavy snow seen earlier this winter. Record-breaking heat wave and Arctic blast. As for temperatures, we're in for a record-breaking heat wave, particularly in the southern plains and southeast. These areas will experience well above average temperatures, with some places in Texas reaching the upper 70s, unusually warm for February. By Thursday, this heat wave will peak, with record-breaking high temperatures across the Ohio Valley, Texas, and the southeast. By Friday, the heat will shift to Florida and then continue into the weekend. However, as we head into early next week, the heat will subside and we will start to see colder temperatures returning. An Arctic blast is expected around the middle of the week, impacting the Midwest and Great Plains. The exact timing and severity of this Arctic blast are still uncertain, but it's likely to occur in the early to mid portion of next week. Afterward, temperatures will warm again by the weekend, and another Arctic blast is possible later in the month. Looking ahead, these coming weeks are likely to bring a combination of snow, ice, and record-breaking heat, followed by cold Arctic air later in February. As Thursday morning progresses, snowfall will expand into the Northeast, including New England. Freezing rain will persist, leading to ice accumulation in areas such as Pennsylvania, Virginia, and northern Ohio. During Thursday's daytime hours, significant snowfall is expected in New England, where the majority of the accumulation from this winter storm will occur. In other regions, freezing rain remains the primary concern, causing ice formation. It's important to emphasize the potential for severe weather on Wednesday and Thursday in areas like the lower Midwest and Ohio Valley. Destructive winds and the possibility of isolated tornadoes should be taken seriously, and we'll provide more details on this shortly. Winter storm transition Friday to Sunday. As we move into Friday and Saturday, conditions will briefly stabilize. However, another winter storm is expected to follow closely, originating from the energy associated with the atmospheric river event. More snowfall and freezing rain are anticipated in the same regions as we approach Saturday and Sunday. Keep in mind that this is about 6 to 7 days from now, and circumstances may change, so stay tuned for updates. Please subscribe to the channel for more details on the forthcoming storm. Long-term forecast mid-February outlook. Looking ahead to mid-February, I anticipate a greater chance for snow and freezing rain, particularly extending further south. I'm currently monitoring the period between February 11th and February 16th. While this is still a considerable time frame, long-term forecasting this season has shown considerable accuracy, so I believe this event could bring significant winter weather. While it's not certain that specific areas will experience snow, the likelihood of increased snow accumulation is rising, especially if a large Arctic blast occurs, which is becoming more probable around mid-February. European model versus GF's model forecast differences. The European model appears to provide a more accurate forecast for freezing rain and snow from these two distinct winter storms. It predicts a much larger area impacted by freezing drizzle or freezing rain across the Midwest from Iowa to the northern Ohio Valley. Snow will stay further north in the northern plains and upper Midwest. By Wednesday night and Thursday morning, light to moderate freezing rain with occasional heavy periods is expected in the Northeast and Michigan, leading to icy road conditions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. I'll see you in the next one.